Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we are going to completely overhaul how you view your daily workflow. We're unpacking Darius Foroux's book, Do It Today. And this isn't just surface level stuff. This is a deep dive into replacing that passive procrastination we all do with a really actionable, system-based approach to true effectiveness. So if you've ever felt like your days just kind of slip away from you, you are exactly in the right place. Okay, let's quickly look at our roadmap. We've got 5 stops today. 1. The procrastination trap. 2. Willpower fails, systems work. 3. Eliminating unproductive habits. 4. The 30-minute evening ritual. And finally, 5. Manage attention, not time. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The procrastination trap.
Abraham Lincoln once said, "You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today." Honestly, this timeless quote takes our explainer today from just, basic life hacks straight into an actual philosophy of living. It validates that avoiding hard work is just, it's human nature. But the cost? Yeah, that cost is always waiting for us. So why does our great intention to just start always lead to complete chaos? It's like an autopilot behavior we fall into the literal second we sit down to work. Foroux shares this highly relatable story from his college days. He'd start the semester totally chilled out, feeling zero stress. But then, you know what happens? He'd end up locked in his room a week before exams, completely freaking out, surrounded by a literal mountain of empty energy drink cans. I mean, we've all been there. Why does that clear intention suddenly turn into a chaotic mess? Well, we usually start out with a really clear, straightforward goal. But almost immediately, that straight path derails into this tangled mess of distractions. And research by psychologists Diane Tice and Roy Baumeister shows that this chaos isn't harmless. Actually, it's directly linked to depression, anxiety, and stress. It really all stems from a lack of self-regulation. We basically end up relying on the terrifying pressure of a looming deadline just to force us to do the work. Which brings us to Section 2. Willpower fails, systems work. You really have to beware the slope of procrastination. Think about it. You start a task, your productivity peaks, and then you think, I'll just check the news for a quick second, right? The moment you give in to just that one tiny distraction, your productivity literally slides straight down to the bottom. It absolutely proves that you need a concrete system, not just an overestimation of your own self-control. Relying on willpower alone is a total myth. So the crucial point here is the hard line between productivity and effectiveness. Drawing inspiration from management thinker Peter Drucker, Foroux points out that working 50 hours a week on useless tasks is really just being busy. You're getting a lot of stuff done, sure, but are you actually moving the needle? True effectiveness is about getting the right things done. It's about your personal growth, financial progress, and your emotional well-being.
All right, Section 3. Eliminating unproductive habits.
To get to that level of effectiveness, we have to eliminate. There are these rapid-fire bad habits that are quietly destroying our momentum every single day. Checking things is a massive one. Checking your email, refreshing Instagram, pulling up the news, just for the sake of checking, it yields absolutely zero outcome. Or how about escaping life when things get stressful by drinking or just running away, instead of tackling the actual root of the problem? Also, if you constantly say yes to everyone, you're essentially living someone else's life. We've got to cut these out. And that brings us to these hidden time wasters. These are recurring activities with exactly zero return. To find yours, Foroux recommends keeping a super simple time log for just 2 weeks. Just write down what you do every single hour. Then review it and ask yourself, what would happen if I literally stopped doing this activity? If the answer is nothing, you have struck gold. Cut it completely. This creates a beautifully simple routine where focus basically becomes effortless. But hey, what happens when you hit a wall of internal resistance, when you feel that fear or hesitation creeping in? You can use an ancient habit, a mantra. Foroux actually noticed legendary boxer Floyd Mayweather constantly repeating hard work, dedication, while he was training. So Foroux adopted his own, which is a simple but incredibly powerful, let's go. By literally saying this out loud when you wake up or when you're staring down a difficult task, you instantly force a shift in your state of mind. You move out of passive anxiety and straight into immediate action. Seriously, let's go. Moving on to Section 4, the 30-minute evening ritual. This 4-step flow takes only 30 minutes, but I'm telling you, it changes everything. First, spend 10 minutes journaling just to close the day out and clear your head. Second, take 10 minutes to review tomorrow's calendar so you know exactly what's coming at you. Third, take 5 minutes to prepare your outfit. This is a total game changer because it eliminates morning decision fatigue. You're not burning precious brain power just choosing clothes. Finally, spend your last 5 minutes visualizing the day ahead. By doing all this the night before, you wake up completely dialed in. No more hitting the snooze button a dozen times.
And finally, Section 5. Manage attention, not time.
The Stoic philosopher Seneca once noted, "There is never a time when new distraction will not show up." Think about that. The internet didn't invent distractions. Human nature did. Actually, over 2,400 years ago, Socrates was warning about the barrenness of a busy life. So there will literally always be an excuse to avoid hard work. It's just built right into our DNA.
So I want to leave you with this final, really profound thought derived directly from our source material. Manage your attention, not your time. We all have this false belief that we can somehow manage the clock, but time passes regardless of what we do. The absolute only thing you actually control is your attention. Your focus determines the quality of your entire life. So I'll ask you this. If you step up, create your system, and fiercely protect your attention starting right now, what meaningful work will you finally do today?